trend off base here. Should he really be promoting demonstrations?
Kevin Jackson is executive director of the Black Sphere and the author of The Big Black Lie. He joins us now from the courthouse in Clayton, Missouri, outside St. Louis. Kevin, thanks a lot for coming on. So what's the point of this? What's the point of the Reverend Al Sharpton going to Ferguson?
Tucker, the absurdity of this is exceeded only by Barack Obama's ego and Al Sharpton's tax debt. This is the most blatant political ploy ever. And the only reason why Sharpton's limited it to 25 cities is he can't get enough funding to go into more cities. I've never seen anything like this. We've gotten emails about, school. One of my children goes to school here, and we've gotten emails that the schools are shutting down, over this nonsense. Look, this is strictly what I call in my book race pimping. Al Sharpton has to do this in order to remain relevant. It's really that simple.
Well, Kevin, what does it say to you that Al Sharpton says he's going to be protesting, calling at least for these nonviolent protests? Hopefully they will be. But regardless of the outcome, what does that say to you?
Well, what it says is that, and I said this early on, it didn't matter what was going to happen in the outcome of the grand jury. Al Sharpton was going to protest. If they found Darren Wilson guilty, he was going to protest that, see, I was right. This is what happens with the police. Of course, when they find out that Darren Wilson wasn't guilty, then they have to say that there's no justice in America. There is no in-between for the left. And the unfortunate thing is if they really wanted to protest, they need to protest all the Democrats that have led to this unfortunate situation. Claire McCaskill, Lacey Clay, Barack Obama, and others. All of these people have led to a situation that's not only just limited to Ferguson, it's all over America, where these poor, these kids are left in desperate situations where they can't find jobs and things like this. So Sharpton needs this. He needs it, I guess, to pay off his tax debt, because there's no reason to do this.
So meanwhile, the people who actually live in Ferguson are bearing the brunt of these protests. Here's a school superintendent from the school system. Her name is Tiffany Anderson, talking about the flyers kids in her schools are getting. She said, flyers encouraging kids to be disruptive and encouraging to think of police as, quote, pigs. That was disturbing, she said. Those are being passed out by some of the out-of-state groups come to protest in Ferguson. They have a different agenda, no, these groups?
No doubt about it. There were school signs about 2 weeks ago that were essentially saying very much the same thing, Tucker, and the parents made them take them down, and some parents took their kids out of school. As I said, we got a letter that essentially said, in all the inner city schools, and this is the tragedy, parents are getting letters saying, hey, listen, we expect disruption, we're doing everything we can to protect your children. This isn't happening in the suburbs, and it's happening over the death of a kid who did something that led to his own shooting. The amount of energy that's going into this, the wasted funding that could be going to things that mean something, to inner city programs to help these kids, and Al Sharpton's organizing things that are counterproductive. It's absolute absurdity, and quite frankly, I would really like to see the guy arrested for something like this. It's amazing that he can get away with it.
Kevin, what are you telling your kids?
Well, three of my sons are older, but my youngest son, we talk to him about, disregard this. You got to respect law and order. And I think it's a tragedy that in these inner city schools, it is this F the police type mentality. It's this, you're a victim no matter what. And I think that when the left's going to be held to pay for it. I think that obviously this last election, there was some blowback on it. But I think it's going to get even worse. And I know that the people of Ferguson, who are absolutely phenomenal folks, are sick of this.
Kevin Jackson in Clayton, Missouri. I hope you'll keep us updated. I assume you're going to be around for whatever happens in the next couple of days.
We will.
Hope to see you back. Thanks a lot, Kevin.